carrot bars.
Bruce Hughes is going to explain the difference between the coins, the crypto coins that are available with carrot bars, KBC and KCB, and why right now is a really great time to get involved and buy these coins. You will see how they are supported by the carrot bars infrastructure and how this is really going to impact on their value moving forward.
Hey guys, it's Bruce here. I just wanted to shoot a quick video to show you some of the economics at play in working out both the floor value and the ceiling value for both KBC and KCB. Guys, if you understand the fundamentals of this, you'll understand why Forbes magazine is making such a lot of noise around our company. You know, a lot of you would have seen that Facebook is busy launching its own cryptocurrency called Libra, and you would have read that Steve Forbes has reached out to Mark Zuckerberg and said, you know, base your coin on something tangible, base it, you know, on gold, make sure it's got an asset base that can be validated and evaluated and audited. To which obviously Facebook have said no. Now the exciting thing is that our company hasn't said no to that. In fact, they went and launched that. They're the ones that gave that idea to Forbes. And so that's why obviously Forbes has rated carrot bars in the top 10 blockchain companies to watch. So having said that, for all the KBC holders out there, I'm going to talk to you. And for all the KCB holders out there, I'm going to talk to you and just explain some of the small fundamentals that we're excited about with these two coins. So let's talk about KBC. KBC was the first coin that the company launched with. Okay, so KBC was the first coin that the company launched with. And the idea of launching this coin was to launch a coin that was backed by an asset that could be evaluated, validated, and audited. And so the company chose gold as that asset. Now, that makes complete sense. The company's been 8 years in the gold industry. It's been shipping and selling gold to 140 countries. So gold is a great starting point. So here's what you need to understand. If there is a limited number of coins in an economy, okay, so in the case of KBC, if there are only 12 billion coins in the economy, then you can get the floor value of those 12 billion coins by looking at how much gold actually backs up that currency. So if you have 1 ton of gold, 1 ton of gold, you can then work out that 1 ton of gold divided by 12 billion coins will give you a floor value of the coin. But what if the company increases the amount of gold vaulted? What if the company increases it to 2 tons? Suddenly what you get is an increase in the value of a coin, because now it's 2 tons of gold divided by 12 billion coins. What if Carrot Bars increases its gold holdings to 3 tons of gold? Well, suddenly you've got 3 tons of gold divided by 12 billion coins, and that's what gives you a value. We call this here, we call that a floor value. That's the lowest possible value that the coin can go to. Okay, but the upside value, the ceiling value, can be radically different. You see, the ceiling value has to do with how many people want access to the coin, what the demand on the coin is. So if there were 1,000 people around the world who wanted access to that coin, well, then the value of the coin would be 3 tons of gold divided by 12 billion coins to give you the value of the coin, multiplied by 1,000 to get the demand on it. What if, so suddenly the value of the coin is sitting over here. What if 10,000 people wanted access to the coin? Well, suddenly the demand on the coin has grown by 10 times. What if 100,000 people wanted access to the coin. Well, suddenly the demand on the coin has grown by another 10 times. What if 1 million people wanted access to that coin? You see, the amount of gold vaulted hasn't increased, it stayed at 3. The amount of coins in the system hasn't increased, okay, but the demand has increased, which then pushes it up again by another 10 times. Okay, every single time more people want access to something, it increases what we call the ceiling value. And it's in between the floor value and the ceiling value that profits can be realized. It's in between the floor value, which is based on how much gold is backed, and the demand that our wealth is created. So that's KBC. Let's take a look at a very similar story. Let's take a look at the second coin, KCB. Now KCB is not just backed up by gold. KCB is backed up the entire audited value of the company. It's backed up by the company's infrastructure. That means it's blockchain services, the telecommunications platform. It's backed up by the trading and exchange desks. It's backed up by the point of sale system and the fees generated through that. It's backed up by the ATMs and the fees generated through that. And it's also backed up by KBC because the two coins are going to merge. In other words, if the value of the infrastructure, if the value of the company was at 1 billion, and in the example of KCB, there were 50 billion coins, well then to work out the coin value, you would say 1 billion euros worth of value, worth of infrastructure, divided by 50 billion coins would give you a floor value. If the company's infrastructure grew, if more fees were generated through the exchanges, if more fees came through the telecommunications platform, if more fees came through the point of sale system, if more gold was vaulted, all of that would increase the company's value and infrastructure. So what if the company went to, okay, so let's look at this. Price of infrastructure, or value of infrastructure is probably a better way to explain it. What if the value of the infrastructure went to 2 billion euros? Well, KCB would be 2 billion euros divided by 50 billion coins would give you a new floor value. What if the company's infrastructure and fees, etc., went up to 3 billion euros worth? Well, 3 billion euros divided by 50 billion coins would give you a new floor value. So what you've got in a company that's growing, its infrastructure is growing, is a floor value rising. And then the same maths apply based on amount of people wanting access to that coin. Guys, the exciting thing is that this floor value, we call that a double floor value. And that exists because what you've got in both KBC and when it merges with KCB is you've got both of these, the gold and the entire company's infrastructure, both of these giving floor value to the coin. You've got demand based on people, okay, based on the market. You've got demand realizing it at a higher and higher value. And that's what makes this coin so exciting. That's what makes this company so exciting. This is why Forbes is excited, because we've got a company that has tokenized its infrastructure, tokenized its assets, and they put in coins that represent that tokenization, and the demand in the marketplace is growing for it. Guys, I hope this has been a helpful 9-minute video. Looking forward to meeting a bunch of you. Take care.